Bambu Lab's PETG Flow has been discontinued. Once it's sold out, that's it. No restocks. Most colors are already gone on Bambu's website, though we've still got a few boxes here left at 3D Printing Canada, at least at the time of filming. So before this filament disappears for good, I grabbed a spool of their black PETG Flow and lined it up against every other black filament that we have here in our store. If you've been relying on Bambu as your go-to PETG, the real question now is, what do you switch to? PETG Flow earned a lot of folks' loyalty as a clean matte finish when most PETGs are glossy, and it was built for high-speed printing that kept up with modern printers. But now that it's heading out, how does it actually stack up against the competition? In this video, we're testing Bambu's discontinued PETG Flow against every black PETG we carry in our store, comparing max volumetric flow, surface finish, and cost. Let's get into it. Before we get into testing, let's run through who's in this lineup. Of course, we'll have Bambu Lab's PETG Flow, plus 3 PETGs from our own brand at 3D Printing Canada. We've got Standard PETG, our reliable workhorse, Budget PETG, a cost-effective option, and PETG Plus, an enhanced formula manufactured right here in Canada. We're also testing Sunlu's PETG, one of the latest brands to join our shop's lineup, Unveil Form's Matte PETG, which was introduced this year, and as the name suggests, has a matte finish. And finally, R3D's high-speed PETG Carbon. It's a bit of an outlier since it's carbon fiber infused, but it's manufactured as a high-speed filament, so it should make for a good comparison. One PETG is missing from our list, and that's from our friends over at Spectrum, another great brand that we carry. We didn't have any black in stock at the time of filming, so we'll cover that one once it's back. To keep things consistent here, we printed everything on the same H2D printer with a standard 0.4 nozzle, and all filaments were pre-dried before testing. Ideally, you'd print R3D's carbon fiber PETG with a hardened steel nozzle, but for simplicity, we use the standard nozzle across the board. Now let's get into the actual tests. First up, surface finish. If you didn't know, most PETGs actually print glossy by default. Glossy gives you a more vibrant color and works better for transparent or display parts, while matte looks more premium, hides layer lines, and is usually a better call for functional parts. For example, camera lens hoods where you don't want glare. Neither is objectively better, but it depends on what you're printing. We printed identical samples with each filament and ranked them from glossy to matte. Here's how they stacked up. Bambu Lab PETG Flow came in truly matte, clean with minimal shine. Unveil Form's Matte PETG lived up to its name with one of the strongest matte finishes on the list. One thing worth noting, despite being labeled as black, it kind of reads more as a charcoal. R3D's high-speed PETG Carbon landed somewhere between a matte and satin finish with a slightly textured sheen from the carbon fiber blend, which also helps reduce visible layer lines. The remaining 4 filaments, our Standard PETG, Budget PETG, Canadian-made PETG Plus, and Sunlu all came in with a typical glossy finish, which tracks since none of them have additives aimed at reducing shine. So to summarize, if matte was the main reason why you like PETG Flow, Unveil Form matches it arguably even slightly more, aside from the lighter color black. R3D is a solid alternative too if you're open to carbon fiber blends. Everything else lands kind of glossy. One quick caveat, speed and temperature also affect the finish. Printing slower and hotter tends to look glossier, while faster and cooler tends to look more matte, at the cost of weaker layer bonds. All of our prints are using the same print settings, so treat these results as a benchmark rather than a ceiling of what these filaments can actually do. Now on to testing max volumetric flow rate, or how fast you can push filament through the nozzle before quality breaks down. The higher the value, the faster you can theoretically print without sacrificing quality. As a reminder, volumetric flow depends on both the filament's material properties and the hardware you're printing with. So for this test, we're printing all of these on the standard 0.4 nozzle. You could get higher flow rates with a high flow nozzle or a larger diameter nozzle, but we just want to keep it the same across the board. We printed a benchmark cylinder that begins at 15 millimeters cubed and increases by 1 millimeter cubed per millimeter of height, pushing it until it fails. We then measured with calipers from the bottom up along the seam line to find where the quality starts to degrade. For the number we get here, I'll add 15 and then round it to the nearest whole number to get our max volumetric speed. Starting strong, Bambu Lab's PETG Flow came in at 25 millimeters cubed. This also matched their default filament profile, which lists a max volumetric speed of 25. Budget PETG came in on the lower end at 17 millimeters cubed. Our standard PETG was slightly higher at 19 millimeters cubed. The Canadian-made PETG Plus came in at a respectable 21 millimeters cubed. Sunlu PETG matched standard PETG at 19 millimeters cubed. Unveil Form's Matte PETG reached 23 millimeters cubed. And finally, R3D's high-speed PETG Carbon came in at an impressive 27 millimeters cubed, the only filament here to beat out Bambu. There's a clear gap between the top 3 and the rest here. It's also worth noting that the same 3 filaments that had the more matte finish also ranked highest on the flow. It's possible the additives responsible for the more matte finishes are also reducing friction through the nozzle. We are not material scientists here, so take that as a theory rather than a conclusion, but pattern holds across every filament we tested. The standard unmodified PETGs grouped together at the glossy end and the lower end of flow, all consistent with each other, but a clear tier below the modified options. If you wanted something that can match Bambu Lab's PETG flow rate, look at Unveilform, R3D, or even our Canadian-made PETG Plus to achieve similar speeds. Now let's factor in costs, since performance only tells half the story. At the end of the day, we all want to save a little bit more on the materials that we buy. All prices here are in Canadian dollars from our website. I'll include a rough USD conversion here as well. Factoring in the current price for all of our filaments in order from most expensive to least, we've got Bambu Lab's PETG High Flow sitting at the top at $29.99, Canadian-made PETG Plus at $26.99, R3D's high-speed PETG Carbon at $24.99. Bambu PETG just hitting the $20 mark at $19.99. Our standard PETG is $17.99, budget PETG at $15.99, and surprisingly, at the lowest price, less than half the price of Bambu Labs, is Unveilform's matte PETG at a staggering $14.49. So if you've been using PETG High Flow and you're wondering what's next, for the closest all-around replacement, I'd say go with Unveilform. It's the only filament here that truly matches PETG High Flow's finish, arguably a little bit better, and it holds its own on flow rate as well. And right now, it's the best price option out of our entire lineup. So it's kind of a win-win. But if speed is the priority, R3D's high-speed PETG Carbon outpaced everything, including PETG High Flow. At its current price, about $5 cheaper than Bambu Labs, I think this will be a strong pick for a lot of folks, especially if you're looking to venture into carbon fiber filaments. Just be sure to use a hardened steel nozzle when you're using this one. If Canadian-made sourcing matters to you or your business, our Canadian-made PETG Plus is your option. And it has a respectable flow rate performance sitting just below Bambu. Strength testing is still coming. We're building out our own tester here in the studio, and once it's ready, we'll run all of these filaments through it, including Bambu's reformulated PETG Basic. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that one. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments which filaments you consider switching to. Or if there's one that we missed that you like, let us know. Links to everything that we tested here will be in the description. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.